and welcome to Social Media Apps Programming. Today, we would like to talk about how to integrate the geolocations informations, Google Maps, into your apps. So today's topics will be Google Maps API, and let's recap last week's what we have introduced to you. That is, we have introduced you how to use Google App Engine and Google Cloud Platform, as well as data store to store your backend office. So today we're going to talk about how to use the maps informations. And before we proceed to the detail of Google Map APIs, I have one question to the students, the only one students today in this classroom. I have one question to Emily. Do you have any experience for using Google Maps API before this class? No? And how about your undergraduate project? What's that function? Google Maps. So you have already used Google Maps into your undergraduate project? This is the first time? Do you know how to integrate Google Maps into your final project? It is an easy task, or it is a challenging task? Do you think it's easy task, or it is a challenging task? It is very easy, because what you have to do is you just copy the JavaScript into your HTML. That's it. So you can use Google Maps APIs and then show the directions to the coffee shop you would like to create, because you like to create the coffee shop reservation app, right? So please consider integrate Google Maps API into your final project app. Okay. So here is the Google Maps platforms. Please visit Google Maps platform first from your browser. Please type Google Maps API or Google Maps platform. You will see this page. Look like this. Please visit Google Maps here. This is the Google Maps platform, and this is the resources from Google Cloud. There is a Maps or geolocation API called Google Maps API, or nowadays you can call this service as Google Maps platforms. And explore the details of Google Maps platforms. Please visit. Have you ever visited this page before in Google Cloud? Google Cloud is very powerful cloud service, right? A lot of service provided in Google Cloud. And because you love to use Google Maps to finding restaurants, coffee shops, or finding places you like to visit by using Google Maps, right? But you can also use Google Maps platforms to integrate to your projects. So please scroll a little bit down to the last to see how it works. Have you seen? Please scroll down and you'll see there is a map. This is the Google Maps platform, integrates seamlessly with iOS, Android, and desktop applications, meaning that you can use JavaScript or embedded APIs function is init map, meaning initialize map. So you can declare a latitude or longitude by pointing the positions you like to focus. So you can create a map object and specify the DOM element for display. For here, this is google.maps.map. And here, why you can do this? Because you include the script source equals https maps.google.apis.com maps API JS. Please notice here, there is an important, you have to provide your API key. So please apply your API key from your Google developer account. So you can apply the API key to access this maps.google APIs, and this callback init map, meaning that is include this initial map JavaScript function here. This is JavaScript function. Okay. So what you have to do is pretty easy. From here to copy to here and into your body, the body of your HTML code. That's it for your Google Maps APIs integration. And also you can integrate the directions. For example, if your customers, the customers of your apps would like to find the direction to your coffee shop, and you can use the driving direction from place A to B. So here is the APIs like this. So for example, http.s, there is a maps.api called distance matrix JSON origins from, for example, from the city, Vancouver, BC to Seattle, destination to way somewhere, and then put your key, your Google Maps API's keys here, so you can get the directions and get the final results. So you can provide the users a convenient way to get the location to your coffee shop for your final project app. Alright, now you have an idea of what Google Maps platforms or Google Maps APIs can provide you the services or convenient way to integrate the APIs and into your final project apps. So here is the Google Maps APIs, the traditional way. There are many ways to integrate it. The most important thing is it is easy by using the API example code, JavaScript code provided by Google Maps APIs. So this is building the next generation of location experience. So you know how to integrate the location information to your final project apps, and you can accurately to cover almost every cities or every places from Google Maps APIs. So here is the developers.google.com maps get started. Previous page you are visiting is Google Maps platform provided by Google Cloud. It's a cloud service, right? But if you like to get started, please visit here, developers.google.maps get started. So here is this entry point to get the API keys from here. So for example, you can find web API, Google Maps JavaScript API. This is what it can do. Customize maps with your own content and imagery. And here is the Google Place API JavaScript library. is very convenient way to embed your geolocation information to your apps. And there is also Google Static Maps APIs. So as you can see, here is the under developers.google.com Maps document JavaScript. For Maps JavaScript APIs, there are very handy and useful tutorials you can see. For example, you can choose one of these tutorials and see how you can integrate the maps like this to your projects. For example, you can create a map with a marker. I have one question to Emily. Emily, do you know what is a marker for Google Maps? That is a marker. Do you know how to add a marker? For example, to identify the coffee shop, the locations. Suppose this is your final project app, right? Do you know how to locate this one to your final project app? So for example, this marker is the coffee shop name and its address or its latitude or longitude. Do you know how to specify this to your app? From the previous page, you can see there is a JavaScript, right? And you can find the location of your coffee shop first, and you find the latitude and longitude, meaning the position, and then copy the number to your HTML code, and then you can show this marker to your app. Look like this. It's not always in Australia. You can locate it in New Taipei City. Okay. So this is the examples, and here is another example called visualize data. So you can visualize the data on top of maps and showing the data information. And here is you can also create a marker clusters, look like this. So the effects, the benefit is that you can use Google Maps as the fundamental visualization parts, and then you can add in some data from your apps to showing the data with maps to your users. So here is the Google Maps JavaScript APIs. And here is another examples on the demos and sample code. For example, this is the maps. As you can see, there are base maps and style maps, satellites, directions, markers, some examples. And you can take a look of these maps and see what you can integrate these features to your index.html with JavaScript APIs, right? So here is the base maps. It is pretty simple way. For the most important snippets is like this. This is the initial map. There is one line of code. That's it. Only one line of code. It is declared or var a map. And you use new Google Maps.maps. It is you create an object from Google Maps APIs. Where is this Maps API you can include? Is that you just copy these lines of code, it's script with source HTTPS maps.google APIs. And most important thing is that you have to provide your API key. And then there is a callback called init map. And here is the asynchronous differ to this one. So there are 3 important steps. The first step is include the Google Maps API script into your app. This is the step number 1. Step number 2 is copy this script within div element ID map, or you can decide a name for you. This is the second step, to copy this script, JavaScript, and pass into your index.html. And step number 3 is that finding a latitude, LAT and LNG, from the places you like to focus, and then update this number to your apps. So this is the Google Maps JavaScript API's best map. And also you can use Google Maps JavaScript API directions. Suppose your users is from this place A, and you would like to direct the users from place A to the destination of your coffee shop, that is destination B. You can use this example code provided by Google Maps API. So let's explain what is this API is doing. There are 2 important variables. The first variable is place A. The place A, for example, here is the var Chicago equals is like a dictionary, curly braces, latitude 41 and longitude minus 87, and you would like to get the direction to the place B. For example, in this case, the place B is Indianapolis. So this is another place's latitude and longitude, and you use a var map, new Google Maps, a document get element by IDs, and center is location of this Google map into a zoom size called 7, meaning the zoom size may be 7 or 5 or 2. It depends on the zoom in or zoom out for your Google Maps. And here is the requested destination. For example, here is the direction display equals new Google.Maps direction render and maps column map. And this is the most important thing, is that, for example, you would like to use the request destination to place B, and this origin, for example, place A, Chicago. And travel mode, you can use driving or public, for example, buses or MRTs or walking. So there are many travel mode. So the most popular one might be driving. And here is the direction request to the direction service. So you can declare var direction service equals new Google Maps API direction service. And here is a direction service route, and request the function response status. And if status is okay, and you can display the route on the map in your app. So here is the directions display, set directions response. So you can use the Google Maps API provided by Google Cloud Service and integrate these route directions, real-time route directions, to your application. Right. Here is the the landing page of developers.google.com maps. This is Hello Map, and Hello Maps available on every screen, meaning that it can display on your desktop, your iPad, or your iPhone, or your Android phone. And here is the more than apps. This shows the Google Maps API demos. So as you can see, this is a lot of applications. You can find the street map. You can find the interest images related to these places on Google Maps. And the Google Maps API is more than a map for your final project apps, and explore demos of unique features that you can use and integrate into your final project app. So you can explore like this. So I have one question to Emily. Would you like to integrate Google Maps function to your users of the coffee shop customer for your final project? Would you like to integrate Google Maps like this function? Okay. And how about your idea? For suppose you are a user, do you think it's a good idea to provide maps information in your app, or in your opinion, it is not necessary to integrate the app's information to your app? What's your opinion? Oh, so you don't think it's necessary? Like why? Why you don't think it is necessary? Because every users, they have Google Maps in their smartphone. But you would like to highlight, for example, this is your coffee shop, right? And how to get from, suppose this is the coffee shop, I would like to get the direction from your app directly. How can users to get a route to the coffee shop directly from your app? They don't need to open Google Maps apps first and type in the address. So how you can provide an easy way to provide the users to find a direction to that unique coffee shop. So do you think it would be nice if your apps can provide some links or some connections to Google Maps API, right? So have you ever used like Planet Bus, Waiting Bus? Is there a maps directions? For suppose there is a bus stop, right? There is a bus stop, and you would like to know. Suppose you are going to a new places you have never visited, but you would like to know where is this bus stand. So you would like to find the bus stand, because the bus stand is displayed in that Google Bus app, right? And suppose in this case, you would like to find a bus stand, right? For example, in TKU campus, do you know where is the nearest bus stand, bus stop? You can take one bus directly to Beito or Sili, right? So the bus app, the bus waiting Taipei bus app, you can see, oh, nearby there are some bus stands, right? And you know what is the timetable they will arrive. And you can directly use the marker, click, and you can get the directions to that bus stand. Suppose you're a newcomer see and you will know what I'm talking about for this function. This is a bus stand, right? And you can see this is your place, and you find the directions. But from there is a maps. There is a maps. Now this page, and there is a nearby. Yes. And you can see, for example, this one. And here is the yes. And you can see there is a here is a yes. This is find the directions. This is bus stand, right? And you can find the way how to go there, right? So this is the function provided by this app. It is not, you don't need to, so this convenient way, you can find the way where this bus stand is, right? So this is the integration of maps information to your apps to provide the users a convenient way to get the routes or get the directions to that apps. So I think it could be a nice way to provide Google Maps APIs for your apps users. Right. So here is another demos. For example, you can see places, base maps, centralized or street views. So here is the APIs demos. This is a New York map, and you can find a routing from direction A from place A to place B. And here is the JavaScript APIs version 3, because there are a lot of versions you can use from. So this APIs and getting started. This is the getting started APIs. So firstly is obtaining a Google Maps API keys, where you can get API keys. Emily, do you know where you can get your API key for Google Maps? Do you know where you can get? Are you now developers of Google or Google developers? Are you not a member? You have not registered as a developers at Google's. Would you please register as a developers at Google? Because you have to use APIs console in this Google account. For example, you have your Gmail, right? Please visit, and here is the page 20. There is a tutorial, right? And the place you can visit is here. And what you can do is just use your Gmail account to log in to this code.google.com APIs. And then you can click the services. For example, this is the services link from the left-hand menu. And you can activate the Google Maps JavaScript APIs version 3 services, and then click API access links, and your API key is available from the API access. Here, this is the API keys. It's a lot of letters and numbers. It's like a key. So what you can do is copy these keys and pass it to the API keys you have to provide it. So here is the API keys. And what is API key you have to provide it, because this is authorized API access, because you have to create an OAuth 2.0 client ID. So your apps is authorized. You know to that the cloud know which key is accessing separated by the usernames here. So this is the JavaScript tutorials. So you can access here. So please make a practice to visit here first and make sure you can get the API key. So here is the code API key, right? Firstly, you can, like here, start using the Google API console like this. Please make sure you can visit this page. This is Google Maps APIs by using your Gmail account. For example, I'm using imyday@gmail.com. So you can visit this code.google.com APIs console. This is HTTPS in page 22. Can you visit? Firstly, create a project. Create a project. Can you visit this console like this? It works. Is it work? Not work. HTTPS, can you visit this console? Yeah, have you unlogged in? Yeah, you have to log in first. For example, you use your Gmail account to log in. So you'll see this is, you have login, right? This is your Gmail account. Alright. And once you create a project, you'll see there are a lot of services. For example, you have analytics APIs, Blogger API, BigQuery APIs, Calendar APIs, a lot of APIs you can choose from. And scroll down to find there is a Google Maps APIs. There are a lot of versions. For example, you can use Google Maps, the latest version, for example, Google Maps APIs version 3, and the color limit is 25,000 requests per day. For example, why you have to provide the API's key? Because it's a limitation. But if your apps would like to provide more APIs requests, you can find a pricing like this. For the 25,000 requests per day, it's free of charge. It's free. You don't need to pay anything to Google Cloud. So here is the Google Maps APIs version 3, and here is the review terms of service and accept the term of service, accept, and then you will find there is an active service like this, and there's a courtesy on 25,000 a day, and you can welcome to Google Cloud platforms, meaning that you have read the degree of term of service, and you can check if you like to receive email from Google Cloud platforms and continue. And here is the on. You can turn on or turn off the Google Maps APIs. So here you can see under APIs there is a credentials. Credentials is that it provides an OAuth and public API access. For example, from public API access is that you can use of this key does not require any user actions or consent, just that does not grant access to any account information, and it is not used for authorization, meaning that you can provide these API keys for browser applications. What is browser application? For example, your HTML5 plus JavaScript applications is your browser application, is browser apps. And there is a activation date and activation by you, okay, from your Gmail. So here is the credentials public API keys. So you know how to get the API keys, right? So this is the place you can get the API key. You can copy these API keys and pass it to here. For example, this is the hello world JavaScript. You just copy this example code and find there is a script type text JavaScript source equals HTTPS maps.googleapis.com maps API /JS key equal your API key. So just replace this API keys with your application of API keys. And then this is the first step. You can modify the API keys. And the most important things will be you can provide the latitude and longitude by provide the centers of new Google Maps lat is the position you would like to focus. So you can provide these maps. Alright, so here is the APIs. You can provide it. For example, I use this latitude and longitude, and I can access for Google Maps JavaScript API examples with JavaScript plus HTML. So here is you can directly locate it to TKU campus and integrate to your homework assignment number 5, right? Like this. And because you have some experience by using Google Maps, so what you can do is just copy this snippet to your maps. So here is, for example, this is home, research, teaching more, is about me, and you can also integrate to your final project app like this. So this is the Google Maps APIs, and you can also provide the directions to find. For example, I would like to find the direction from TKU to that coffee shop, and Google Maps APIs will provide me how long will it take, for example, 1 hour or 30 minutes to get the direction from TKU to that coffee shop. So this is the div elements. For example, div style position is absolute, height is 100%, width is 100%. So this APIs is the div elements. So in the HTML code, it's just a div elements. For example, here you can see this from the styles. It's a map canvas. It's height and margin is 0 pixel. Padding is 0 pixel. So this is style is like CSS, cascading style sheet, right? So this is you can design the CSS here. And for example, the script initializer, the var map of options, the zoom equals 15. So this is zoom, and this is the latitude and longitude. So here is the load script. For the script source equals here, and this is the scripts. For example, this is you can visit here. So this is examples. So here is the maps.html. The total code for here. And you can see from what we have included is just include this div elements from page 36. 36 is the div elements, is a map canvas. And then another important snippet is from styles to function load script, Windows unload load script. Just copy this code from here, and you can modify this position. So that's it. To integrate, it's pretty easy. Just copy the example code from Google Maps API tutorials and modify some position and some words, and you can integrate this easy to use Google Maps APIs into your apps. So that's pretty much sums up today's topics. It's pretty easy to integrate Google Maps API. Any questions? Okay. Do you think it's easy to integrate? Just integrate one line of code. It's easy, right? And you can find the example code from Google Maps tutorials. Any questions? Or do you have any comments? Okay. If there is no further questions, then I would like to conclude these topics for today. But we have some materials we have not covered last week because for important Google Cloud platforms, I have one question to Emily. Are you quite confident with using Google Maps, Google App Engine? Why? You know what is Google App Engine, right? So you can provide some functions from Google App Engine, right? And do you think Google Cloud Platform is a good tools or good service you can integrate into your final project app? Right? And which service or which tools you like to integrate from Google Cloud Platform? Which service? Firebase? You would like to integrate Firebase, right? And how about Google App Engine? Do you think Google App Engine is a good service you can integrate it? For example, let me recap last week's topics. You know there are many services, right? So, are you confident with using Google App Engine? Do you know the architectures? And how about Google Cloud Data Store? For example, you would like to store the reservation information in the cloud. Which one you will use? Are you using Data Store or Firebase? Which one you prefer? This one or this one? Firebase, do you know how to use? Do you have any idea about this? This is the back end, right? And from the back end, you would like to use Firebase in Google Cloud Platform, right? And do you know how to use this service? Data Store, Firebase, right? And here is the architectures of Firebase. And would you like to register developers.google first? Because if you don't register Google developers account, and you will not to have the access the backend service because it's linking to your Gmail account as a developers. So when would you like to register your Gmail account to developers.google? When? these days? Okay, yeah. So please apply and register in some process. You will have some experience. So here is the APIs, right? And if you like to access the backend service, you must to register as a Google Developer account and link it to Google Cloud Platform. And it is, most of the service is free of charge. For example, it is 1 GB for free, Google App Engine, right? And you can see this Google App Engine. And here is the registration for the backend service. So deploy your first app, and in 5 minutes, it only takes you 5 minutes to process this procedure. But you have to account to go into, for example, here is the Google Developers Console. The same, the console. Console is from the Google Cloud Platforms. So the console.developers.google.com, right? So can you access this page? Console.developers.google with your Gmail account. Can you access this? Developer.google, there is a console, meaning you can manage your project, you can manage your app engine, you can manage your file base. Right? So here is you can find in the example code here. So using Python code and integrate using this, for example, this app.yaml to handling all the apps, right? So you can write your Python code as your backend and use the Google Cloud Platforms. So here is the try Google Cloud Platform for free, and you input this information and all the billing communication language here, okay? And then deploy your first app in 5 minutes, and then your project apps, okay?